All right. Let us talk about what is really going on in the Toronto condo market and the pre-construction market today. Because let's be honest, things are not looking good. And honestly, a lot of people have no idea how bad it actually is. So what I'm going to do today is break down what is happening, why it is happening, show you some real examples, and give you an honest prediction of when things could potentially shift. I don't have a magic wand, but I think we'll get somewhere. So let us get into it. Let us start with the resale condo market because this is where you can see the cracks a lot faster. Right now, condos in Toronto are sitting with some of the highest months of inventory we've ever seen in a ton of years. We're talking over 10 years, really. Prices in certain pockets are down to 10 to 15% from the peak of the market. So days on market are now hitting 30 to 60 days and sometimes even a lot longer. We're talking 120. Some have been sitting in the market for close to 6 months, guys. Investors who bought in 2020, 2021, even 2022 are seeing dip in cash flow. Many are losing about $1,000 to $2,000 every single month. I just had a conversation with a client. They're losing about $7,000 a month in their investments. So this is hurting a lot of people. And that is why you're seeing so many units for sale in the same building. It is not because people just want to move. It's because they cannot afford to carry the investments anymore. Now, let's talk about the pre-construction because this one is even a whole lot rough. And if it can get any worse, let's look at it. Developers have canceled a dozen of projects across the GTA since 2022. Some projects are delayed 2 to 3 years, and some buyers cannot even qualify for the mortgage anymore at completion. And it's just causing so much damage to a lot of people. It's an emotional time for a whole lot more people, buyers particularly. And I just feel for a lot of buyers today because of things like this. And the assignment market is flooded with a lot of listings. You have people who bought pre-constructions for $800,000 trying to assign it for $700,000 or even $650,000 today, and they still cannot find a buyer. This right here is not a one-off situation. This is happening all across the board, guys. So let me break down exactly why the condo and the pre-construction markets are struggling as they are today. So number one, interest rates destroyed the investor math. Most investors who bought pre-construction were expecting 2% interest rates. Now they're getting 5.5%, 6%, some even 7%, and the numbers just do not make sense. They don't work. Then number two, we have too much supply, and you know that whole month of demand and supply. In areas like downtown, City Place, Liberty Village, and Vaughan, they have entire buildings filled with investor units. I'm talking thousands, by the way, here. So when we go into number three, the maintenance fees keep rising every single year. So we've gone to sometimes where it was around 70 cents per square foot. And now some areas they're charging for maintenance fee about $1.50, $1.20 per square foot. So that is just not adding up to the numbers. So let's look at number four. The rental market has completely softened, which pushed carrying costs to a much higher number. Number five, developer costs exploded. And this is obviously because of the tariffs and also COVID. Since then, the numbers haven't really completely dwindled down. And when construction costs rise, developers either rise the prices or they cancel the projects as we are seeing today. This is why both condo and pre-construction values are in immense pressure. And here are some real examples of what we are seeing right now. Assignment sales listed below the original purchase price, pre-construction units losing $100,000 to $200,000 before occupancy. Typically, this number used to your property is already appreciated by $200,000 or $100,000 before occupancy. Now it's the opposite way. Investors taking losses just to get out of the projects that they already purchased. Developers are offering so much incentives right now, like 5% total deposit, free parking, and sometimes even cash back. These are things we never used to see. And this right here is a sign of a market that is in complete stress, under a lot of stress. So when will things shift? So here's the way the magic wand. I don't have the complete answer, but I can give you a frame of this, because let us be honest, nobody can call the exact bottom of a market. It's impossible to call it. But what we can look at is at the conditions required for a good turnaround. So I'll break it down in conditions. So let's look at condition number one that will need to happen. We need significant interest rates to cut, not one rate cut, but multiple interest rate cuts. Then condition number two, new condo supplies need to slow down. Developers are already delaying a lot of launches, and that is the beginning. Condition number three, construction costs need to stabilize. Like, nothing's going to happen until this construction costs stabilize, because if the development fees are really high, if the prices are really high, there's no way the developers are going to take on the cost. The cost is going to go towards the buyers, so that has to change. So now when you look at condition number four, we need more end users entering the market. So these are owners who are going to be moving into the property. When freehold prices stay high, like detached homes, semi-detached homes, when this stay high, condos eventually become the entry point again. This used to be the sweet spot for a first-time home buyer to come in. We need to get back to that. So when can things shift? So if rates continue to trend down in 2025, we just had that announcement in November, which has gone down, and there could be potentially another in December, and then going into 2026. We can start to see stabilization at this point, but I do not see a major boom in the condo market until we get real rate relief. So this could be years, guys. So you're looking maybe the end of 26 coming in 2027. Personally, I think it's going to be around 2028, to be honest. But here's the thing. If you are a buyer, this market can actually work in your favor. I know. You have leverage. You can negotiate. You can take your time. You can get deals that were impossible to get 2 years ago. I had a client that we were looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo with parking downtown in that annex area. And at that time, those units were going for around $950, close to $1 million for what he wanted. Today, we're looking at those same type of condos and they're sitting in that 750, 800 mark. So this is one of the best times to look for long-term value. Don't come into it if you are a buyer who's just speculating, or if you're a buyer who just wants to buy a condo for the next year and hoping to flip it. That's the wrong approach for this market. You should be coming into it with the anticipation for that long-term value. I would say minimum at least 5 years. Keep it 3, but 5 years the minimum for condos. If you're coming in with that less than that to hopefully flip it around, this is just not the time for it. Let's talk about the sellers as well, Scott, because I don't want to leave my sellers alone. If you are a seller, you need to price aggressively. I keep repeating this. You need to stage. You need professional marketing. You need someone who understands your building and your competition very well. Because these are the things that when somebody, as a potential buyer, is calling you or calling me as your representation, I should be able to break these things down for the buyer to give them that incentive to come in. This is very important for sellers to catch a grip on and to have a better understanding of. I always say, don't list according to your situation. List according to what the market is calling for. And if you had the prediction that the market is going to keep going down 6 months ago, you are right. And the market is going to keep on going down 6 months from now. So you selling today, you're probably going to get more money now compared to down the line. So if you're already losing money through the rental income you're getting, you've come from 2% and now you're going to do a refinance and you're now going to be paying an extra $1,000, $2,000 out of your pocket. And you're saying, let me just wait for the market. It's going to keep going down. It's costing you more and more and more. I'm just going into a meeting with a client today and they are an investor for a condo in Barrie that we had, and we're not just going to put it up in the market because they're losing money out of the rental. We have a tenant in there, but the tenant is not covering all the costs, the mortgage, the maintenance fee, the property taxes, the utilities. So it's an extra cost out of their own pocket. So we're just going to put it up in the market. If you keep on waiting, it's more money out of them. And you won't be able to balance it even if you leave it for another 3 years, because how much more can the property appreciate by? So these are things that as a seller, you really want to hone in and look at these numbers. And if you're now trying to assign your pre-construction unit, you need real numbers to know whether it makes sense to sell or to hold, because the assignment sale market is just, it's taking even longer. It's a really tough one out there. If you want me to break down your condo building, or you want a pre-construction assignment analysis, just send me a quick message, text me. I have a link down here somewhere. Just click on that link and go through the steps. I will be able to, it will be able to get to me, and I will break down all the numbers that you need and just give you an honest opinion, give you an honest view on how you can approach things moving forward. All right. So I hope this gave you some good clarity on what's going on in the market today on the pre-con side, or if you own a condo, or if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, and now you feel confident on how you can move forward. If not, I just said you can reach out to me. But for now, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.